Greetings, people of the interwebs. Jake here on this rather dreary Thursday morning here at Cumberland Gap. So right now I am doing the Tri-State Peak Trail. Here's a little marker, Daniel Boone's Trail from North Carolina to Kentucky, 1769. So, Daniel Boone's kind of a big deal in Kentucky because he was one of the pioneers and frontiersmen that kind of helped pave the way west into basically beyond the Appalachian Mountains. Because yeah, there's a lot of places named after him in Kentucky, like Booneville, Boonesboro. I believe there's a Boone County. I don't quite remember because there's a lot of counties in Kentucky. I think there's like over 100. It's a little excessive. But yeah, so thankfully I was gifted a 4-day weekend, which I was elated. After several 6-day work weeks and just a lot of chaos at work. So I decided to drive down here to Middlesboro, which is where I'm staying, and use as a base of operations for hiking Cumberland Gap, Pine Mountain, possibly some other places like Kingdom Come State Park. Tentatively, I don't know for sure if I'll have enough time to get around to that, but even if not, there are ample trails here in Cumberland Gap and right up the road in Pine Mountain, so I'll be sure to record those. But yeah, it's a rather chilly day, mid-30s, but I'm actually staying relatively comfortable with my sweater. But today is supposed to be the coldest day of my 4-day weekend before it jumps up to like the mid-60s, like low to mid-60s, which is kind of perfect for me. But I mean, honestly, even this weather's not bad. A little bit of sprinkles, but it's not too bad. Plus I brought a rain jacket just in case it does decide to come down a little bit harder. But anywho, with introductions out of the way, I'll see you all on the trail. Okay, so I don't know how good the audio is going to be because it's rather windy up here, but I am currently standing in the Tri-State Peak. So right now, when I'm standing, I'm in Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee. So if I step forward here, we have Kentucky. So down there, you probably can't see it because of all the fog, is Middlesboro, which is my base of operations. So Kentucky, Bluegrass State. Area 40,395 square miles, 120 counties. Let me pull the camera closer so that way you can probably hear better. Capital Frankfort, 15 state, June 1st, 1792. State song, my old Kentucky home. Moving over now to Tennessee. The Volunteer State. Area 42,244 square miles, 95 counties. Capital Nashville, 16th state, June 1st, 1796. Now over here to Virginia, the Old Dominion. Area 40,815 square miles, 96 counties. Capital Richmond, 10th state, June 26, 1788. State song, Carry Me Back to Old Virginia. Or no, Old Virginia. I'm illiterate. So I don't know if you all can tell, but it's actually snowing. As I was hiking up here, it was just like little rain droplets that then turned into snow flurries, which I was not expecting. Thankfully, it's not too bad. Still a little chilly, but the hike up here, I was definitely breaking up a sweat. But yeah, now that I have hiked to the top, let's see where the trail takes me next. See you all on the trail. So, as you all can see, it's, for like tiny little snow flurries, it's coming down kind of hard. So probably what I'm gonna do, I even checked the weather this morning before I head out. There was no snow, or not supposed to be rain or snow, but welcome to Kentucky. The weather kind of does its own thing. So I am probably going to head back down the trail, hop in my car, go into town, maybe grab myself some second breakfast, hang out at the hotel, and then probably come back out I don't know, maybe around like noon or so. I can't imagine the trails are going to be super busy since it's a weekday and with the weather being what it is. Because even though this isn't bad, I don't know, I still may just head back to the car. Like I said, grab me some second breakfast in town at one of the cafes, and then come back out maybe around noon and hope that no more snow flurries or rain. And then I can actually get some more footage for you lovely people. But I hope you all have enjoyed this video. And as I've mentioned before in my other videos, the whole point that I have started doing these is I've barely traveled my own home state of Kentucky. And actually, this is the first time I've been to Middlesboro and Cumberland Gap, because the other three places that I have featured in this Kentucky travel series are places I've been. So you all are experiencing it for the first time, much as I am. But digressing, so yeah, the whole point that I started the series is I wanted to travel my own home state more, because as much as I have traveled, both domestic and international, barely traveled my own home state. And so, here we are. So slide up. As I was hiking back down the trail, the snow started to cease. I mean, it's still flurrying a little bit. But since I was close to... So I'm actually in Tennessee right now. I'm close to the town of Cumberland Gap in Tennessee. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So that is where I'm heading right now. And I do like that it's starting to green up. Because it is spring. And with the recent rain showers, actually it came down, there's a pretty bad storm that came through several states here on the kind of relatively east coast-ish. I thankfully missed all the bad weather, and by the time it got really bad, like just torrential rain, I was sitting cozily in my hotel room. So, good timing there. But yeah, so I'm now hiking to the town of Cumberland Gap. Let's explore. So, the Warrior's Path. For trucks and cars in the 1900s, before steam locomotives in the 1800s, before long hunters' pack horses in the 1700s, there is long-distance traffic crossing the gap, on foot, going both north and south. No one knows how many centuries Indians used a wide game trail, similar to the one you see before you, to ascend this important pass. The first Englishman known to have walked over Cumberland Gap was backwoods trader Gabriel Arthur, a 1674 captive of the Shawnee. Both Dr. Thomas Walker, 1750, and Daniel Boone, 1769, explored Kentucky by following the already existing Warrior's Path north. Athemiowe, I'm pretty sure I butchered that. 100 miles to the south in the foothills of the Great Smokies lay the principal towns of the Cherokee. 150 miles to the north, where the Scioto River joins the Ohio, lay the principal towns of the Shawnee. Bitter enemies over many generations, these two tribes regularly attacked each other. To reach the enemy's home ground, both Cherokee and Shawnee traveled one of the best-known long-range trails crossing the Appalachians. Shawnee called the trail Athemiowe. English speakers in the 1750s began calling it the Warrior's Path. So, that right there is the newly Iron Forge, or what's left. So this was constructed, I believe the sign said in the early 1820s. It's primarily powered by the Gap Creek right here. And especially after heavy rainfall like we received lately, I imagine this iron forge was a bustling and a booming. But this tower is all that's left, which is still pretty cool. So this is where the magic happened right here. So yeah, that is Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, right there behind the tree line. So let's say we walk around and explore. So I'm in the town of Cumberland Gap, and just look at that mountain over there. So I decided to grab a bite, second breakfast in the Gap Creek Coffee House and Cafe. Not a bad spot. It's a really cute little town. But as I was ordering, the lady at the counter seemed surprised that I was out here hiking in this kind of weather. But like I told her, I'm a soulless ginger, so I don't mind the cold. And again, 4-day weekend, I need to make the best of it. Even if it's a little chilly, it's actually not that bad. Especially now that I've got my rain jacket over my sweater. Keeps me a little bit more insulated, and I've actually been burning up most of this hike. Yeah. I don't know. This was a pleasant surprise because I wasn't meaning to come down this way once it started snowing at the top of the Tri-State Peak. But here I am. So might as well shoot some footage of Cumberland Gap. Tiny little town, I think of a population of about 300 something. And so this is kind of the main drag here. Let's see, now across the road here. And got some nice houses like that one right up there in the corner. Beautiful home. Can't imagine there's a whole lot going on in this town other than, you know, catering to tourists. But that is most touristy towns, though. Very small, not a lot going on. But yeah, this is a pretty little town. It'd probably be worth coming back here, just explore it a little bit more, which I just might. If not today, maybe later on in my trip. But this right here is a B&B, and if this camera had some kind of like smell-o-vision, oh my god, it smells divine. Yeah, the Old Mill Inn bed and breakfast. I really like the look of it. Very like the aesthetic. But yeah, smells wonderful. But anywho, I'm gonna head back up the trail. Salt-seeking buffalo, moccasin-clad warriors, dreaming pioneers, battling Civil War soldiers, each was here in the historic Cumberland Gap, and now so are you. This is the historic Cumberland Gap. So, this trail that I'm on here is called the Wilderness Trail, which is the exact same trail that Native Americans used and also later pioneers, because this is the best basically cutting through the Appalachian Mountains is the Cumberland Gap right here. So I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a history nerd, but I think it's really cool to be in such a historic spot, especially a spot that doesn't really get, I don't know, this isn't something you're really going to learn much in your history classes or your average history class, and it's just such a beautiful area, even though it's been a little snowy and gloomy, so I haven't really gotten any good views of the mountains to showcase here in this video. It has nonetheless been a wonderful day so far here at Cumberland Gap. So I shall see you all back out on the trails. So I'm up this little ridge here, and as you can see, there is a cannon right there, because during the Civil War, Cumberland Gap played a pretty pivotal role, because both armies were basically trying to control the gap. So I believe, if I check my map correctly, that down there is Tennessee. I believe that's the town of Harrogate. So actually not too far from where I was earlier, about an hour ago, in the town of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. And it looks like the sun is finally starting to come out of these gloomy clouds, because it has been cloudy, rainy slash snowy all morning. So here's hoping when the sun finally comes out, I can get some clear views of the valley below. But even with the weather, it has still been a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you all back on the trails. So, there's a lot more snow on the branches and on the ground in this area compared to where I've been hiking before. Which, like I said earlier, I was not expecting snow. Granted, it wasn't a whole lot, mostly snow flurries, although it was coming down kind of heavy. And I'm heading to Pinnacle Overlook, which is on the Virginia side. So it looks like the Virginia side got a little bit more snow. But I like the look of it with the lightly snow-dusted branches and ground. And overall, this has been a rather pleasant day, even with the weather, and not a soul in sight in terms of other hikers. But it's also a Thursday morning, and, you know, weather. Most hikers, even if they were off like I am, I doubt are too keen to get out when it's in the mid-30s, a little rainy, some unexpected snow, but not gonna stop me from enjoying my 4-day weekend. And also, I am birding up. So I think once I get to the top of the overlook, I'm gonna take off my rain jacket and hopefully cool off a bit. But all right, I'll see you all at the overlook. So I'm at the top of Pinnacle Overlook, which is on the Virginia side, and just look at this gorgeous view. The weather is finally clearing up, so you can actually see below, because this morning it's been very foggy, misty, rainy, and a little bit of snow. But well worth the hike up here. Greetings from Pinnacle Overlook. I am now in Virginia. So, I started off this morning in Kentucky. Started my hike around 8:30. Then by about 10-ish, I was having second breakfast in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. And now it is about 11:30, and I'm in Virginia. Greetings, peoples on the interwebs. So I am heading back down from Pinnacle Overlook on the Virginia side, and it's actually pretty crazy how much more snow Virginia got compared to the Tennessee and Kentucky side. Because when I was hiking up to the Tri-State Peak, which is just under 2,000 feet in elevation, it was snowing, mostly snow flurries, but not a whole lot of accumulation. Same thing with the Tennessee side. But then when I started to get on the Virginia side, and granted that's all starting to melt now, because the sun's finally come out, but, I don't know, pretty crazy, just like, I don't know, right over a ridge, so much more accumulation, and it's been a very productive day. So like I said, at the Pinnacle Overlook, I started my day in Middlesboro, Kentucky. Just a short drive to the parking lot of one of the trailheads. I think it was a Thomas Walker parking lot. Out there around 8:30, and then, I don't know, around 10, yeah, about 10, I was at the Tri-State Peak, standing in 3 states all at once. And then, actually, no, it was probably closer to 9. A little after 9. Then probably about 10:30 is when I grabbed second breakfast in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, which is a tiny little town of about 300 people. And then about midday, I was at Pinnacle Overlook in Virginia. So This is a first for me. Granted, like, it's pretty easy to hike all 3 states all at once because they're, yeah, I'm at the convergence of all 3. But nonetheless, this is a first for me, and I can now say that I have hiked 3 states all in one day. But I think now that I've gotten a good amount of hiking in, I rose around 14,000 steps last time I checked. So I'd say by the time I get back to the car, I'll be easily well over 20,000. But I believe I'm going to start making my way down, hop in the car, crash at the hotel for a little bit, maybe grab some lunch later in the afternoon. But this has been a wonderful, wonderful day, even with the weather. So I hope you all have enjoyed these series of videos and will continue to watch my content. So until next time, everyone, cheers.